And good evening, sports fans. Happy St. Patty's Day. Once again, it's Wednesday Night Live. It's the Coach and AD on the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here from
Center Sports Universe, live here at Coach's Corner.
That shoulder, whatever shoulder. We're live at Coach's Corner, the center of the sports universe. I got to do this because it's killing me. I got to go back.
There we go.
There we go.
Hey, speaking of Notre Dame.
There you go, buddy.
Speaking of Notre Dame.
We'll get to that later on.
Speaking of Notre Dame.
We'll get to that later on. Is the bus going to come like it did for another Savannah player? All right, that's not straight. Let me get straight. I got to adjust my cap here, okay? I guess I'm not going to be able to do it backwards. But anyway, it's my Irish hat. It's got my lucky shamrock. You all rock. You guys rock. Whoever you are, you all rock. But once again, St. Patty's Day here. The crowd's starting to come in. We got a little music out in the sound garden. And, it's going to be a lot of fun. So, hey, green shirt. I had to go with my notes.
I got to thank our man, our producer, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Bennett there, because I don't own anything green or red.
Why? I wonder why.
I don't own anything
I
green.
wonder why. Oh, there's the hat.
Oh, yes, sir.
Look at the hat.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's all you. That's all you, buddy.
All day.
So then I got to go this way.
Yeah,
I got to go back.
Now we go. All right, we are show is on point right now. Let's go.
But anyway, we're having a lot of fun. It's the Coach's Corner Sports Network. There are 5 shows now. Okay, of course, Wednesday night, 6 o'clock, Rubbin Grubbin. Okay.
What did they get to grub tonight?
They got turkey Rubens because they ran out of corned beef. Yeah, they got turkey Rubens because they ran out of corned beef. So, but anyway, a little top of the morning until you. We should have came for the green grits, but we didn't come for the green grits. But there was green grits here. Remember, they got breakfast every Monday through Friday from 6 to 10:30. But anyway, so you got Rubbin Grubbin. Dan Foles, Brandon Baines do a great job at NASCAR. Go to YouTube, subscribe to their channel, wherever they are on social media. Then, of course, it's us two. It'll be a year, March 28th. We've been doing this. We started out at Rockies. You know that.
We did.
That hat looks good on you.
It does, don't it?
He could be the green banana man.
I could be.
You could be.
Jesse Cole Jr. walking around.
Jesse Cole Jr. So anyway, so you got us Wednesday night from 7 o'clock to about 7:30, 7:45. Then Saturday mornings from 9 to whenever, 10:30, 11. Okay, and then the other show that is broadcasted live, it's called the 19th Hole. The Herb Brothers. The Herb Brothers, I know the next guest doesn't want to hear about the Herb Brothers, but anyway, they do a great job. They are going to do 4 golf shows from the 19th hole out in the Sound Garden at the Henderson Cabin.
That's right. Henderson Cabin, you got your first major coming up is the best of all.
The Masters.
The Masters. Azaleas are starting to bloom. Oh, it's starting to be beautiful. Outside.
And Tiger went home today.
Yes.
Okay. And then we have 2 podcast shows, which we're going to bring on next the co-host. Okay. But anyway, they do a great job. It's adultish. It's pokey. What was it? Plucky. It's a plucky kind of show.
Plucky.
He'll explain plucky when he comes on. But anyway, Hot Grids Podcast. They're like at their 58th episode. They do a great job. You're going to laugh. But I'm telling you, it's adultish. Kids listening to it, I don't know. But anyway, Spencer Maddox, Travis Jaudon do a great job. Travis Jaudon, great job writing for the Prep Sports Report. That's why we got him on, because we're going to wrap up high school basketball. This man covered a lot of games for the Prep Sports Report. And then, of course, tonight, it's posted. We have the Who's On First baseball show with the coach, Karl DeMasi, and the baseball fanatic. He's a regular. He's a baseball guru, right?
He is the baseball guru.
Kyle Lawson. Not Larson. Kyle Larson's the race car driver. We got Kyle Lawson, okay? It's up now. I didn't post it on Facebook yet, but it's up on Twitter. It's up on, go to TuneIn Radio, go to the sports app, and the Karl DeMasi Sports are there with all the shows, and now with Who's On First.
What's on second?
I don't know. Where he is, I don't know either. But anyway, we're going to wrap up the high school basketball season. It's in the books. We have a lot of recognition, a lot of awards coming out. This young man wrote a whole article about the top boy players in the city of Savannah for this year. Why not bring him on? He's got the Coach's Corner hot seat, the co-host of one of our shows, Hot Grids Podcast, and that's, of course, Travis Jaudon. Travis,
what's going on,
guys?
there? Yeah, can you hear me?
Hey, we're just having a lot of – we can hear you. I just want to make sure I get you a banner scrolling across the bottom there. I got to give you some credits, okay?
I want to know how's your elbow feeling?
Oh, how's your shoulder feeling there, buddy?
It's still
Look, after that letdown at the bowling alley.
The game of his life against us. The game of his life. He was
179.
He had ice water in his veins that game, and then he used it all up
Yeah, I think we used up all of our all of our good balls in the first round.
Yes, you had some pressure. You had the other varsity team, and you go out and you lose to the JV team.
I know.
They were.
I'm not going to give you a hard time. It was a lot of fun.
Man. Listen, we're proud of you.
And it was great for a great cause, helping one of our own. I think the total's going to be a big announcement. I think he wants to get everybody here next Wednesday night so we can announce it. We got some nice chunk of change coming in for that bowling tournament.
Yeah, Spencer and I were really happy with the way that our listeners contributed and helped. And we know Help Save One of Our Own is one of the best charities around. It's super local and very Savannah, so we're glad to be a part of it. If we couldn't win the bowling match, at least we did our part with the fundraising.
All right, so now we got the man. He did covered a lot of basketball for the Prep Sports Report. He was an honorable mention in high school. You know that. He was.
Mention reaching 3A.
Did you play in that game that lasted forever?
I did, yeah. 5.3 points per game. Not a big deal. Not a huge deal, but honorable mention all region.
You did more. You had a little defensive prowess and a little upstairs spots. It wasn't all about scoring, was it?
No. I was a clubhouse guy. First one in, last one out. Hard hat, lunch pail. Bring your lunch pail to work type of guy.
Hey, you need those guys on the team. That's all I got to tell you. All right.
That's right.
Did you think we were going to get through a 2021 high school basketball season this year?
No, I didn't. And I was worried, honestly. There's an overlap in football and basketball, obviously in every state. It's no different in GHSA. In the back of my mind, and from what I heard, at least rumors wise, after the state championship games finished up in football at Georgia State Stadium, everything after that for me was up in the air as far as the GHSA goes and what they were going to allow and not allow. I was worried for a time that they were going to allow the hoops to continue being played and allow basketball and the winter sports to continue being played up until football, the real moneymaker in the state, obviously, was done. And I was worried that after that, basketball might be in jeopardy. So, like I said in the all area teams, Karl, for the Prep Sports Report, I think at the top I said something along the lines of whatever, your thoughts on the season are. It's a success that we got through it, I think. And Savannah teams had relative success once again this year.
All right, here we go. All right, so Travis, I agree. I mean, now, I did not think Georgia High Schools would shut down basketball. I think as long as we got through the fall like we did, we were going to. When we got through football, we were going to go. I thought what was interesting for the most part is just once again how teams around the state or districts around the state handled those things. You had, we saw their schools in Atlanta like Holy Innocents that played like 12, 13 games, and then Hebron who played 30. And so Windsor, who played probably 12 or 13 as well, then other teams that played 25 or 30. So it was just so interesting and different about, how many games they got to play depending on, COVID, and maybe either their teams with COVID or contact tracing or whatever their district would or would not allow. I think that was the biggest thing going into it. It was so individualized. We saw here in Chatham County, her team with Windsor, they go 30-something days without playing. And so, that made basketball season a really, really interesting dynamic from that standpoint.
It's interesting too, Chad, when we got to the state playoffs, what we found was that there was a drastic difference in home court advantage for, say, Johnson hosting Long County the same weekend that Windsor Forest is at a loaded gym in Appling County. The differences in what those two gyms looked like, for better or worse, you could argue either one, I guess, but the difference in Appling County's gym that weekend versus 24 hours later, maybe even the same night, I think, Johnson's gym when they hosted Long County, those were two distinctly different environments. I don't know that the GHSA could have done much about that, but I know that it was clear from the beginning, the GHSA left it in the hands of the individual regions and areas. I think looking back, that was the right choice, and I give them credit for that. But there was a clear disparity in home court advantages, even just 45 minutes, an hour away.
I got to agree with you. Chatham County had their rules, and they were going to stick to them. There was going to be two guests per kid, whether it was regular season or playoffs, and they were going to do that. But when you went out to the outer counties, or you went to some of the other schools in the city that weren't public schools, they were packed gyms. I remember, I went to one game early, and, I thought I had some clout. Here I am, the coach, Karl DeMasi. I've been doing this for I don't know how long. I had to slide the gym for the first quarter. They wouldn't even let me in because the place was packed. But you know what? We made it through the season. I got to give a lot of credit to the fans, to the players, to the parents, to the administration. We got through the season, something I didn't think we were going to get through because when we went inside, it was a different story. I mean, you guys can tell me if I'm wrong. The NBA made it because there was no fans in the whole place. And, we were letting fans in. And then again, of course, the NBA had them in a bubble. They were locked down. Where our kids, once they leave school, they're free to do whatever they want. If they're not going to follow the rules and hopefully look out for themselves and others, we got into a couple little instances where teams sat out for 25, 30 days. And, as a coach, we tried. I can tell you right now, Aaron Clark tried. Coach Chucky Campbell at Johnson tried. The teams that I had to sit out for 14 days the first 2 weeks of the season because a team we played, one of their players was COVID-19. But we came back and we played four games in 5 nights right after that. So you had to do what you had to do, and it was a great season overall.
Yeah, I give a lot of credit to the coaches in the area. I mean, I can't imagine having to deal with what you guys had to deal with, and Chad, you at the AD level. Karl, I guess you too at the AD level. The kinds of decisions and pros and cons that you guys were weighing every day, it must have been mind-numbing. Hopefully this time, or hopefully by this football season and certainly next basketball season, we'll have a lot of that figured out. I think we learned some stuff along the way. People got better, I do think, as programs. They got better at delivering and selling their program, delivering the final results, things like the final scores, what player scored what on social media, things like that, live streams. We had a lot more access to teams and film and stuff like that. So, me personally, I got to see a lot more games this year than any year in the past, even during a pandemic, because of the ability of some of these schools to live stream their games. So maybe there are some positives out of it.
Well, so let's get to the breakdown of the basketball season, the teams. Going through your article and look at it. Talk about some of the biggest. We recap the we're spinning here. So what some players and maybe a couple of surprise players that you saw or got to cover along the way this year in boys?
Yeah, so going into the season, I think a lot of people – yeah, can you guys hear me okay? You guys got me? Okay. I think going into the season, a lot of people knew about Imandre Bowles and Shamar Norman, the two senior guards at Johnson and Windsor Forest. And I think beyond those two players performing the way they did this year, which was exactly what we thought, those were the two top players in the area, I thought. Beyond those two players, though, there were a lot of other guys that stepped up. I really liked Alaris Wall, the guard at New Hampstead. He's on my first team. You had Deontay Bass, who is probably the most athletic player in the area. He was on the first team. He'll be back next year for Windsor Forest. A guy like Jaden Marshall at Richmond Hill, who was a 3-year starter, who averaged 15, 8, and 5 per game. Those are the kind of guys that we had this year. A lot of seniors on the first team. I think that's to be expected. But more than that, I thought there was a lot of talent in the private schools this year. I had to weigh those kinds of things when you're talking about first team versus second team. I put 10 on the first team, 10 on the second team, and then some honorable mentions. There were a lot. It was a really deep city this year. And I think even, guys like at Calvary, who are I'm having to weigh those guys versus guys at Savannah Christian with Parker All and Cooper George, those two guys. At Country Day, it was Eric Brown and then a bunch of guys that averaged between 5 and 7 points per game. very, very deep city this year, but I think it was led obviously at the top by Shamar Norman and Amandre Bowles. And you can have your pick as far as which guy is player of the year.
Okay, just so you know what we're doing. Last week I used a new computer, and it's kind of loud in here, so I got to shut our mic off and come back to you. So that's why there's a little delay. So we can hear you. We're just making sure that people can hear you. So when we shut off the mic, you don't get stepped on. All right, my question.
Okay, that's fair. That's a veteran move.
Well, you learn by doing this stuff. I'm telling you right now. So, all right, you had two brand new coaches. Well, really, three, if you count Tony Scott over at Havisham, but you also had Terry Hines at Jenkins, and you had Kevin Evans at Groves. Unbelievable job. And I'm forgetting one. I can't forget him. I'll get in trouble. His brother will fire me, Chucky Campbell. So the job that these new coaches did, if I've got any other new coaches, help me out here, Travis. But the job these new
Jeff
coaches
Williams
did,
at New Hampstead.
Jeff Williams at New Hampstead. Okay, these new coaches coming into, whether it be a new area, a new school, I mean, and then to deal with COVID-19, I mean, they did a heck of a job.
Yeah, they really did. And think about like what Chuck Campbell had to go through at Johnson. His 3 losses this year came to 2 of them to Windsor Forest and 1 to Sandy Creek. Windsor Forest was ranked 3rd in the state the first time they beat them. They were ranked 3rd in the state the next time they beat Johnson. Sandy Creek was ranked 1st in the state. So his 3 losses came to 3, 3, and 1 in his first year as head coach of Johnson. Kevin Evans wins the coach of the year in that region. Groves was 9-9, but that was a hard-working 9-9 this year. And if you saw Groves play, you'll know why a lot of people are so high on them next year. They have a bunch of juniors returning next year as seniors, including Tremaine Johnson, who was on our first team all-area team. I think and Jeff Williams at New Hampstead, he comes in and he has DeAndre Smart, Alaris Wall, and guys like that. They win the region, go undefeated in the region, and he's the region coach of the year. Really incredible stuff. And certainly there were other coaches, Karl, that weren't first-year guys that were impressive. Robert Walsh at Savannah Christian was the region coach of the year. I think Demetrius Smith at Savannah Country Day they had an incredible run down the stretch, winning a region title and going to the Elite Eight. A lot of good coaching jobs this year, even if you don't think about COVID. But when you add in COVID, it was really, really remarkable to see what some of these coaches did.
And don't forget, you're watching Wednesday Night Live on the Karl DeMasi Sports Board. It's the coach and the AD. We're a little Irish today. I'm rooting for Notre Dame. He's got his little what do you call it? What type of hat do you call it?
A leprechaun
right?
hat?
Derby?
I don't know.
It's
a green hat.
Green hat. It's
so,
green.
But anyway, we're here at Coach's Corner for the Wednesday Night Live Karl DeMasi Sports Board, right here from the Center of Sports Universe at Coach's Corner. We're talking to the co-host of one of the 5 shows, Hot Grits Podcast. Okay, so I'm going to throw this out here before Chad gets to another question. Why are you a Globe man?
Why am I pro Globe?
Why are you pro Globe?
Yeah, so we think on the Hot Grits Podcast, we think the Durin Avenue Globe is a staple in Savannah. It's one of the first things you see when you enter Savannah from that way. It has absolutely nothing to do with the city. A lot of things about it are plainly inaccurate and just strange. And that's why we love it, because Savannah is a weird place. And we think that globe randomly being placed on the corner of Durin and White Bluff is a perfect symbol for the strangeness of Savannah. So they can have the statues and the bridges and all that. We'll take the globe. I can't hear you.
There we go. I said, you're standing in front of that globe, but I don't know what you do. Hold
on a second.
We got a visitor here.
Hey, Travis, how you doing?
Man.
Have you been bowling lately?
Oh, no.
I'm sorry, buddy. I had to hear it for a month. We didn't say anything.
Oh, no.
I love you, buddy.
Oh.
I'll wear it.
He just happened to be here.
Hey, you got to let the JV team win sometimes.
I mean, listen, that Joker.
We were thinking about the kids. That's what we were thinking about.
His brother was as hot. Not as much him, but
his brother was hot.
Was on fire.
At one point in time, they were just rolling the ball and then immediately turning around before the ball even hit the pins and just strike after strike after strike. It felt like we were playing like the dream team in the Olympics or something. It was unreal.
But he had the highlight. After he turned his back, came down, and fell right on his rear end. I mean, that was the highlight of the night right there.
Yeah, and that's the team that whooped us up and down the lanes. So we'll have to forever own that, I guess.
All right. Now I'm going to ask you go back to basketball. You have another question for the young man?
Yeah, I mean, you covered a lot of prep basketball this year, Travis. So was there one game that stood out to you this year that you covered that it was like, man, this was incredible. Atmosphere was incredible. Game was incredible. I know maybe not atmosphere part, but just a game was incredible. You covered, and you looked at the guys on the floor going, man, this is something special here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think both of the Johnson-Windsor Forest games, it gave me a feel of kind of that old school Savannah high school basketball vibe that was tough to come by this year as far as COVID goes. The atmospheres weren't just crazy. Karl and I were in the gym at Savannah Country Day early in the season. I think most of the teams were still playing football, but it was Benedictine at Savannah Country Day, and that was essentially for us, or for me, a good chance to see Trent Rodnex versus Eric Brown, two of the better private school players in the area, two senior guards for their respective teams. That atmosphere was electric. To me, that was the best atmosphere of the year. I think the Calvary Country Day game, the second of, I think, was it 3 or 4 straight in a row games to close the year. The second of those, or the third of those, was pretty nuts. And I think I'm forgetting one more. There was a New Hampstead Jenkins game earlier in the year at New Hampstead that was really good too. And I think New Hampstead still has probably the best gym to watch a game in right now, if not for Country Day. And I think probably those two gyms were able to provide an atmosphere just because of how big they were. But there were a lot, Chad. I mean, there were a lot of good games this year.
Hey, here's something for you too. Do you know this man does not own a green shirt or a red shirt? I wonder why, Travis.
Yeah, I could think of a few reasons why. I got some green for him, though, if he wants. I got some green. Anytime he wants some green and gold.
I walked in, and I was like, man, I don't have – everybody's got – I was like, man, I don't own anything green, and nor do I own anything red either. So, I'm sure I should just called you, Travis, to raid your closet,
He doesn't have anything
closet's
teal
the only
either,
one in
so
the world with more purple than green. I'm sure that your closet's the only one in the world with that.
Yes, without a doubt.
So, all right, to wrap up the whole season, give us your whole your final outlook. What happened, and I got one more question for you. After you give us your outlook of how the season went, your final analysis of what went down this year in this uncommon season.
Well, I think what we have to remember as far as high school basketball goes is that there will continue to be the phase-in of the shot clock. We saw a little tiny bit of that early in the season, and I think with everything that went on, we kind of forgot about maybe what that will look like. That's going to be a really, really drastic change. I know that I would say in baseball, maybe the pitch count. And besides that, I'm not sure that there have been a lot of rule changes that will be as dramatic as the shot clock will be in basketball at the high school level. So remember that moving forward. This might be one of the last years where we see that sort of brand of basketball without the shot clock. And I think moving into next year, the favorites are going to be kind of the same favorites that are always there, right? Johnson's going to have to reload without Amandre Bowles and without Robertson down low. Windsor Forest is going to have to lean on Deontay Bass without Shamar Norman. But Groves, for me, is the team next year to watch in the city and in the area. Kevin Evans has a lot returning. And so I think when you're talking about next year, Groves is definitely the team to watch.
Well, it should be an exciting return next year. I know you're going to be running around doing other things. All right, my last question to both of you. What should be the next Coach's Corner Sports Network Celebrity Challenge? We already did bowling. What's next?
We think putt-putt, right?
I'm game for putt-putt.
Yeah, maybe we'll do it around the U.S. Open, somewhere in the summer. Just an idea.
I agree with that, and we got to make sure the Bird brothers don't win.
Yeah, at all costs, anyone but them.
Anything from you, sir?
No, man. Hey, listen. Hey, great job with basketball season. Love reading your articles about basketball or anything you write, Travis. I think you're a super talented young man when it comes to that. Just keep pursuing your passion, what you're doing, man. You're great at it, and just keep on it. We're great to have you here. We're great to, very blessed with your talent of writing and just telling the story of sports. And keep doing it.
Well, Chad, that means a lot coming from you. I appreciate it. It's mutual. I want to say congratulations to you on the new job and the news for you and your family. You deserve it, and I think you've been as good to me as anybody. As far as when I ask questions on the record, off the record, you've always been straightforward and honest. And I think anyone that's paid attention knows that you have built quite the athletics program over there at Cowboys. So you deserve everything that's coming to you. And Karl, you've been
that won't change, man. Distance doesn't.
I've been okay. I'll take that. All right, one question for him before. Let's ask him about if he's pro Globe.
Listen, man, I'm with you, man. Don't get rid of anything that is different in Savannah. I love the Globe. I don't know why anybody's trying to get rid of the Globe. It's like anything else. It's an icon that makes Savannah different. Savannah's always been different, and that should not change at all. So I am pro Globe all the time. If we got to set up a picket line,
there it is.
For pro Globe, we'll do it. We'll have a sit-in, whatever it takes, man.
And here's the stance. We got it. We got it down. Right, Travis? We got it down. Is it like this?
Yeah. You guys nailed it.
There we go. Pro Globe.
Hey,
you guys nailed it.
But before we get off here,
don't announce your little challenge before 12 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah, if you're gonna fill out a bracket on ESPN on the tournament challenge, you can join our group, the Hot Grits Podcast group. Just search Hot Grits Podcast, and then the password is Hot Grits Podcast, all one word, HGP capitalized. Thanks to John Carr and John Carr Real Estate, $150 cash to whoever wins, to whoever has the best bracket, $0 to enter, free to enter, 100% free to enter, and it's $150 if you can beat Spencer and I and beat everyone else in the group. We have Jason Cheatham, who is our reigning champ from the Bowl Pick'em. He's claiming to be back again for more when it comes to the brackets. So go do that on ESPN, Hot Grits Podcast.
Now, are these sheets of integrity? Are we allowed to play more than one, or we're only allowed one? One entry per user. If you have more than one in the group, none of the entries will be eligible. So if you have more than one in the group, delete them and find one, pick one, and go with one. We're a one entry, one bracket kind of podcast. Mike Greenberg, Greeny would be pro Globe too, because that's the type of guy he is. One bracket, that's it. I would hope so. Anyone, with a soul would be pro Globe, I would hope. I love it. All right, Chaz.
All right, what's up in the morning to you?
Peace out, buddy.
Happy holidays, guys. Thank you.
Go Irish. I mean, he does a great job.
He is, man. He's awesome.
He's a lot of fun. He knows his stuff, and he does. I'm never going to get this hat straight back.
I think it's your head.
There we go. It's probably my big head. Okay. But anyway, he does a great job. The research he does for his articles, and he's straightforward. And he's not pro private school or pro public school.
He does a great job.
He does it for everybody.
I love. He writes with a passion that you want, from that perspective. And so, listen, man, I love reading Travis' stuff. I think it's terrific. And I thought it was great. Like today, I'm going through Twitter, and Notre Dame came up a lot today in the state of Georgia. I'm here to tell you, Notre Dame is on the Georgia football train, guys. All right, so today, all right, they offered sophomore defensive end from Calvary Day School, Troy Ford. Troy picked up his first offer 2 weeks ago from Georgia Tech and got a second offer, all right, from Notre Dame. I'm telling you, the kid, when Coach Stroud called me today to start talking about it, I said, hey, Marco, what is it about Troy that people love so much? He's like, Coach, if you watch his film, when we moved him from outside linebacker to DN, he goes, he's an absolute animal.
He's got a motor.
His motor. I mean, his film, and that's what I'm telling you guys. Right now, with coaches not being able to visit, your film tells the story. And he takes no plays off. And I'm scrolling through Twitter. Man, there's pots of gold from Notre Dame stuff all over. Cedar Grove, they had a DB off.
Yep.
There's someone else around the Atlanta area. No, Warner Robbins. They offered the DN from Warner Robbins today. Huge rising junior. So Notre Dame is finding a niche here in Georgia because it's the 4th best recruited state. Really should be 3, honestly,
right,
in the country. And so Notre Dame is on the trail of all these guys in Georgia. Secondly, academics guys. Academics. Troy's got a 3.6 GPA. I mean, he's great in the classroom. He's just a great kid. So make sure you take care of your grades. Don't take plays off. Film doesn't lie. And just keep working hard, man.
See, that's the thing, being a Notre Dame fanatic, back in the late 50s, early 60s, they clamped down on the academics. And it hasn't changed since.
No.
You got to have the academics. You got to have, of course, the athletic ability, but you got to have the academics to get in there. It's no joke. I mean, it used to be before that, anybody and everybody could show up and play there. And finally, the father who was running the place said, that's enough. We're going to go academics, and then we're going to go athletics. And, they already won like 5 or 6 national championships. So, but anyway, to get an offer from Notre Dame, I mean, something special.
Sophomore, rising junior.
Troy Ford.
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember that name.
Before we get out of here, I want to
play lacrosse.
Yeah, look there. Okay. That's the athletic director I had talking. All right, so let's go. You're the soccer guy on the show. Yeah. Soccer so far. Who's hot and who's not?
Man, Benedictine is doing really good. BC's hot. They're probably them. Islands had a huge win over Savannah Arts the other week. Country Day is they got us the other week pretty good. So Country Day's got a lot of rising juniors. They're just really, really good. Goalkeeper made some fantastic saves against us, but they're really improved. I would say BC, Islands. Can't leave out Savannah Christian. Savannah Christian's 8-1, 9-1 right now. So next week, when we come back from spring break, we play BC. It's a non-region game. But then we play Savannah Christian on Thursday. Savannah Christian's beat Aquinas twice. They're top of our region. I think Savannah Christian Country Day got to play sometime here soon. So it's a really tight region for us. Girls side, St. Vincent's is pretty much running the city right now. We'll get to.
What amazes me, they're not even ranked.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
But people love their rankings.
Well, also, listen, I'm just being real. I mean, I say private in Atlanta is the real deal. It's no.
We saw that in basketball.
Yeah, it's no joke from that standpoint. But St. Vincent's a real deal. I got 2 girls that signed already to go next level, so we'll get to see what they're about. Their depth is what makes them so good, Carl. So I say St. Vincent's in the city. We picked up a win over Country Day. Haven't played Christian yet. We beat Savannah Arts girls. So it's
it's gonna be interesting.
It's kind of St. Vincent, and everybody else is trying to get that level. So we'll see what it's like. But like I said, for boys, BC, Savannah Christian, Country Day, Islands, Arts. I mean, it's a deep group for the boys, and the girls is probably St. Vincent's. Us, Country Day is right there.
So we go to baseball. Baseball I've been following very closely. Once again, Benedictine hasn't lost the game.
Undefeated.
Loaded. I had a chance tomorrow night to watch Carter Holton, which I watched when he was a freshman. I had him on my show when he was a freshman. And to watch this kid mature, it was going to be the only night I get a chance to watch him up until this point. And, of course, school's closed down. We got weather warnings coming in, so they're pushing the game to Friday. I wear 2 hats like him, AD and coach, while the AD has to run the soccer games over at the New Islands Stadium. So I got to be instead of going to the baseball game at BC.
You couldn't trade with somebody?
No, I couldn't trade with somebody. I got to be there. It's the first real home game for us there. But anyway,
Get the light show and everything when they score. That's awesome.
Yes, we can do that. Savannah Christian, Calvary, Islands. Islands right now hasn't lost the region game either, but they got to go.
Boys are loaded.
Right, they got to go get the Juggernaut. Well, they haven't lost the region game. You guys beat them twice, so they got to go get the Juggernaut BC. So we'll see how it works out. As far as Richmond Hill's in the thick of things. Effingham, South Effingham, they're in the race. So baseball is starting to come around. But I'm telling you right now, you want to watch these kids when they're in high school. And I mean, the kid started with Vanderbilt. He's being slated as to be picked in the first round of the MLB draft.
And that's what's going to be interesting to see where he gets drafted and what he does. If he's that high, hey, does he just go ahead and go on and not go to Vandy? So that'll be interesting to see, what his choice is from that standpoint.
All right, but Lawrence, you got to know who's playing here this weekend. Got to talk to Lawrence, our producer.
The best in the business.
From Motel 6, he keeps the lights on. Did I get it right?
The lights on for
Did I get it right?
Yes, you did.
Motel 6, baby.
He leaves the light all the time for us.
Here he is. Okay, you take it away.
All right. And so
I'll take it first with my stomach. Don't forget, Monday through Friday, 6 to 10:30 here. Come get some breakfast. That's right. Coach's Corner. Breakfast. Monday through Friday, 6 to 10:30. Get his country
ham, man.
Country ham, a biscuit, some grits, some home fries. You gotta love it, okay?
So we're kicking off tonight with Seldom Sober. They play Irish folk and traditional American rock, pop, and country. You never forget the band name. That's right.
Seldom Sober. Sounds like a lot of people hanging out in front of us.
That is Coach's Corner. That's everybody watches in Coach's Corner. They are seldom sober. That's right. You'll never forget the name. Beat the downtown crowds and come see us at St. Pat. So drop what you're doing. Come on down. Friday night, coming for the first time to the Soundgarden stage. Please show some love for FAQ.
FAQ.
Frequently asked questions. I guess.
Frequently asked questions?
Yep. Also known as frequently asked questions.
Hey, you're right on the money.
5-member band based out of Beaufort, South Carolina and Savannah. All right, father and son duo on drums and father and son duo on guitars. They play everything from Rush to Led Zeppelin. All right.
Okay.
Red Hot Chili Peppers to Michael Jackson. Now that's a pretty big.
That's a big array, right? Yeah, right.
Such an electric sound. Should be a great show with opening.
We have an opening act.
Gina Lynn. She is awesome, and you will love it. Saturday night, Slippery When Wet.
The ultimate Bon Jovi. Hey,
living on a prayer.
In December, I bought tickets for Departure. Never made it. Departure is the tribute Journey band. I'm telling you right now, from what I'm hearing, you love Bon Jovi. This is supposed
by Bon Jovi.
This is supposed to be just as good.
This cover band is endorsed by the John Bon Jovi. So come out, see Slippery When Wet. That is Saturday night here in the Soundgarden. Hey, get her. That will sell out. They're also the most popular Bon Jovi tribute act on YouTube. I like it. All right.
Wow.
Lead singer Jason Morey, who hails from Atlanta, Georgia, and resembled Bon Jovi to the event, was mistakenly invited backstage. David Chappelle. Now, Dave Chappelle. Well, David Chappelle.
We'll leave it at that.
All right, so opening for Slippery When Wet is Savannah's own Thomas Claxton in the Myth. Show you won't want to miss, so make sure you get your ticket before they sell out. We wrapped off a cooler of cheer to be a fair local charity to help save one of our own at the Departure show last weekend and raised $840 for wrapping off a cooler.
And if you've been watching, we had a bowling celebrity tournament with the Coach's Corner Sports Network shows. There's 4 of us. There's 5 now. It was a lot of fun. We still haven't released how much we raised between the Hot Grits Cabbage.
Like that?
Hot Grits podcast, the Karl DeMasi Sports World with the Coach and AD, Rubbin Grubbin, and the Herd Brothers, the 19th hole. I tell you, when you hear how much we raised, it's going to be unbelievable. I mean, we got to thank you. One of our own has been charity here, giving a charity for 30 years. Becker Spears worked here, $30,000 they wrote a check out. I mean, just unbelievable. So
yeah, so I mean, once again, thanks to that charity, thanks to everybody that donated, thanks to everybody that's contributed to that. We had a great time. It was a great event. Trying to find what the next event will be.
Right.
Once again, hey, we're all about raising money and helping people. So
I know they're having that Caddyshack golf tournament. I wonder if they're going to invite us to have a little competition there. Maybe hey. What's it? Pitch, putt, and drive? What's drive, pitch, and putt?
Something like that.
Let's see if we can do that.
We can do it.
We can do it. But anyway, once again, the 5th show came out today. Who's on First baseball show with the coach, Karl DeMasi, and the baseball fanatic, Kyle Lawson. We've been doing it for 4 years on the radio. Now we're taking it to a podcast. Tune in radio sports app. Type in Karl DeMasi Sports Sport. It's going to be right there. It'll be on Facebook. I'll post it on Facebook and Twitter and everything else.
What are we talking about today?
We talked about, of course, the Braves.
The Braves.
We talked about the division, how it's going to start shaping up. What's the top division to the least division?
Yep.
We talked banana ball. Kyle Lawson couldn't understand it. He was like, "This is baseball."
Yeah.
I gave him the 9 rules of banana ball, and he was like flabbergasted.
For purists, that's tough.
And I beat him on trivia.
No way.
All right, here's one for you. Let's see if you get it. Okay, what team holds the most home runs in a Major League Baseball game, and it happened from 1980 on? Put it this way: it happened between 1980 and 1990
So what Major League team has the most home runs
in one game.
Oh, in one game.
In one game. Here is his choices. Of course, the Yankees, the Oakland Athletics, the Toronto Blue Jays, and the Boston Red Sox. Which one out of those 4? So narrow it down.
I would say the Oakland A's or the Bash Brothers.
He said that, but it's wrong. 1987.
Toronto Blue Jays?
Toronto Blue Jays hit 10.
10. So the A7, who was on that team? That's not when they were like, they weren't good in A7, were they?
I could picture his face too.
But they weren't good in A7.
Well, they hit 10 in that game. We got to find out who they were. So anyway, excuse me?
Did you get it?
No, I didn't get it. So, okay, we'll be back Saturday morning, 9 until 11. Once again, he'll be on remote. Okay, kids got a football camp.
Yeah, so Hayes and our freshman quarterback Jake Merklin got invited to the Next Gen Showcase up in Atlanta. It'll be some of the top quarterbacks from around the South there. They'll be doing it out to see who gets invited to IMG to the show, which is a huge deal. Holden Garner, who is lighting it up on 7-on-7, who committed to Auburn. That's kind of how he got his big break. Was he got invited to Showdown Braids, and
that's how it happens.
And that's just how it goes. And so we'll be up there. It's a 3-day camp. Big symposium on Friday night. Then you go classroom for 2 hours watching film, go to the field, lunch, back to classroom, back to the field. So great opportunity to learn and continue to get better as a quarterback.
So, and then I'm trying to get Savannah Spirits, Pro Women's Soccer Team. They're going to release their spring schedule. The Athlete of the Week has not gotten back to me, so I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag. And then, of course, we'll have one of our local sports figures come in and talk something about local sports. So, once again, we got to get out of here. A little long tonight, but always a lot of fun with Travis Jaudon. Thanks for coming on. Remember, whatever you may be doing tonight, tomorrow, always hit it at the park. Until we see you on Saturday.
Up in the morning.
Yeah, may it be your best week. May have been your best week ever. You look good in that hat.
Hey, let's get some.
Oh yeah, we got to do 3 things.
Almost there. Hey, we're almost there.
He washes up. I got a mask up.
I got my first shot the other week. All right, so vaccine's coming.
I'm done.
Yeah, he's done. Hey, we're almost there, people. So keep at it. Love you. Have a great St. Patty's Day.
Once again, God bless, and may it be your best week ever.
See ya. All tangled now. And we're back.
We're back.